Umzimvubu is a catchment in South Africa in the Eastern Province, and it's a river drainage basin, and it covers around 20,000 square kilometers. Over the last decade, there's been a lot of interest and implementation of nature-based solutions in many forms already, being pioneered by local NGOs, civil society groups, and with funds coming from various sources. Now, in many cases, there's a lot of potential for climate services to play a role in this hub, but at the moment, access in appropriate forms and in usable formats is not being achieved. So we're collaborating with something known as the Umzimvubu Catchment Partnership, which includes more than 35 organizations covering NGOs, civil society groups, traditional leaders, and private sector partners, that they already hold the space in the catchment and act as a gateway to ensure that any research that's done, any collaborative research and processes that happen are essentially relevant and do fulfill user-driven needs of the catchment.
The kick-off meeting went very well. It was attended by a greater body which has been on the ground for a long period of time working on nature-based solutions, which is called the Umzimvubu Catchment Partnership. And in that meeting, there was an obvious need for attention on addressing climate change, and that was what was very obvious. But there was a very positive energy linked to finding solutions for the issues that they have on the ground in the greater catchment. The needs and gaps that were identified in the Umzimvubu catchment were specifically focused on droughts and flooding events, but were also inclusive of wildfire events, so fire that impacts the rangeland systems, the fires that move through that area. And there's a strong need for food provisioning and forage provisioning for the cattle that are dependent on the landscape that the people are dependent on. The Albatross project is designing climate service tools for the local people to adapt to climate change on the ground. And what's really important is that these tools are really contextual and relate to the local ground circumstances that the local community describe. And the tools really need to be useful for the people that are living there.